join in delivering our annual address.
Yes.
I want to thank Sister Kim Buckhalter and Sister Yvonne Patterson, our pastor's care and our anniversary committee,
Amen.
and this entire church
Amen.
for a wonderful kind of a kickoff to our Christmas season.
Yes, sir.
Amen. Thank you for every gift that you gave and shared. I was able to give my wife a little change.
Amen.
So
Amen.
she could go and get started. She
That's
ain't
right.
finished.
I know
She's able
that's
to go
right.
get started.
Yes,
Amen.
sir.
We also want to thank you. You don't know this, but last night you sent us to the Callahan Scholarship Gala.
Amen, amen, amen.
And it was a black tie affair.
All right.
And we were sharp, I'm telling you.
Amen, amen.
We were
Already know.
sharp as a tack.
Amen.
Amen. Our media man might put a little picture on the screen. He might have it eventually if he look at his phone. Amen. But we went last night to the Hyatt Regency.
All right.
Had a wonderful meal. They raised about $70,000.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
In other years, they have had Fantasia, and they've had oh boy, the name of the young lady, Avery Sunshine, who has sung here. Avery was here not long ago. And so many others. Last night they had Isaiah Sharkey and his band. And,
Amen.
we had a great time. I mentioned it in Discovery Hour because, and y'all made me lose my train of thought, Elmira. I don't know. But the reason I had brought it up before was I was trying to illustrate how our children love church and church-related things. I was telling the Discovery Hour about how our children used to love to come to church with me because we always did something special after. And last night when my wife and I pulled up to the gala, I went to park the car and I ran into my son and daughter-in-law, and he helped me park my car, my son.
All right.
And when we got in there, my daughter and her husband were there.
Amen.
I'm saying that we raised them in church. And now they beat us to church. My son, EF, and my daughter, Ernisha, my daughter, Marietta, my daughter, Naomi, and her husband in Vegas. When people go to Vegas, they go looking for Naomi.
Amen.
They go to church with them.
Amen.
You follow what I'm saying?
Amen.
So, I'm saying that when you raise your children in church, in the teaching and the preaching, in the high moments and the low moments.
That's right.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
That's right.
And when he is old, he will not depart
from it. Amen. There go your picture.
Ain't she a fox?
Yes, she is. All the time. Right. That's right. Do it.
Look like the day I met her.
Amen. That's right. Amen. That's right.
Amen. I must not be too bad because, sometimes you can get something good and you can mess it all up. She look pretty good, don't she?
Yes. All right. Beautiful.
That must be because I'm doing all right.
Amen. That's right.
Now look. Hey, in other words, now I took all the hits.
You so bad.
That's why I'm all great. Because I took all the hits.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Amen.
It don't bother me at all.
That's right.
I love to joke about it.
That's right.
Amen.
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 I want to preach today
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
a doctrinal message.
All
I want to
right.
thank God for Brother Hamilton Bird, who had an art showing on Friday night from 3 o'clock to about 6 or so. And, you know, we had a really nice time. I wish that more of you would have come out. Brother Grass is all the way from Denver, is that right? And he had part of his exhibit. Will you both stand and let's say amen for them.
Amen. Woo! Amen.
Sister Franklin had some of her art on exhibit. Sister Amy Dorsey, she was here. Did you have some paintings? Yeah, she had about 4 paintings. You had
She
one,
said she's
the
an
Madonna
artist.
that you painted?
She
Yeah.
said I'm an artist. I just have one though.
Very nice. Very beautiful art. Very nice.
Amen.
And I have an envelope from Brother Bird because they made some sales and he made a donation to the church.
Amen.
Praise God.
Amen. Amen.
And now that I'm mentioning that, I've got to say something about Brother Bradshaw. Brother Bradshaw is getting that lower level. Some of the plumbing issues down there. He was here all day on yesterday, and he'll be working some more today. We're getting that downstairs together. Children Hall is going to be back up and running. We got a few more things to do, but we're getting it done. And I thank God. Time would fail me to tell you all that he's doing. But I tell you what, we better get behind him and get with him. Because I don't want him to get burnt out. Because everybody just kind of say, yeah, go ahead. We need to say, come on. Because people get burnt out when you just keep on using them and don't get with them and help to better your own situation. So I'm really counting on the men to really get with these 3 projects that we have. The gutters and downspouts, the heating, and the plumbing. These are major, and we know we got to be on it in this building. We got to be on the case. All right. John chapter 1.
All right.
Verse 1.
All right.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Amen. Verse 14 says, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. That is really, you may be seated. I want to talk about the infinite God. That is really the Christmas story in a capsule. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. A lot of people don't realize how the Word, the infinite God, the Word, Jesus is the Word. A lot of people don't realize that when Jesus came into the world, he did not just happen into the pages of history by accident.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, he did not just show up because God came up with a new idea. The story of Jesus in Matthew and even in Luke is different from Mark and John. Mark starts out with Jesus as being a grown man. Luke goes back with a genealogy that ties Jesus to Adam.
Yeah.
Did y'all know Jesus was related to Adam? Luke was trying to tell the Greek people that Jesus is human. So he tied Jesus to Adam and Adam to the creative hand of God. Matthew's gospel doesn't go back to Adam. It goes only back to Abraham.
Yes. Help us.
Because Matthew was only trying to present Jesus as a king. And every king of Israel had to be related to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then David and Solomon.
Well.
And Matthew does that in that genealogy in chapter 1. But Luke is not trying to tell us that Jesus is a king or a man.
Well.
Luke wants us to know that Jesus is God and equal with God, not a secondary God, not inferior to God the Father.
Well.
Not secondary. Now, this is not one of those sermons about getting your car and getting your stuff
Go ahead.
and getting your money. This is a doctrinal message. And this message focuses on God, not
Yes,
you.
sir.
So every now and then say amen.
Amen.
A lot of folk can't shout unless you talk about
About
something for them.
Come on.
But the old time preaching,
Yes, sir.
old time preaching didn't focus on people as much as today.
Yes,
People
sir.
needed to know about God.
That's right.
And that's why I've come to talk to you about God. About the infinite God. Do y'all know him? You see, this Christmas story did not begin 9 months before Matthew.
Well.
The Christmas story did not begin 9 months before Bethlehem.
Yes, sir.
The Christmas story did not begin 9 months before some wise men showed up at a so-called nativity site.
Yeah, God.
If you read the Bible, you will find that the wise men didn't come to the nativity site. Shepherds came there, but not the wise men. Wise men didn't make it to see Jesus until he was about 2 years old.
Well.
And it was right before Joseph and Mary took Jesus and hid him down in Africa.
Yes, sir.
Which tells us a lot of things. Because if Jesus could hide in a black country,
Help us.
I said if Jesus could hide in a black country, it would probably pose him a problem if his skin wasn't at least brown. John says that he had hair like lamb's wool, that he had dark eyes, eyes like fire. John said that he had feet and hands like polished brass. I want you to understand that God, in his infinite wisdom, knew ahead of time that he needed to send Jesus. God, in his infinite wisdom, matter of fact, God is so wise. God is infinitely wise in all areas. I'm not just talking about wise in adding and subtracting, or wise in counting money, or wise in making a few decisions.
Yes.
I'm not talking about God has a lot of wisdom. I didn't say that God has a lot of wisdom, but I said that God is infinitely wise. That there is no wisdom that exists that ain't in God. God has all wisdom. And I want to argue the fact that Jesus is the embodiment of God's wisdom. And I want to argue that fact by going back to say that Jesus was not some emergency plan that at the last minute God came up with. I said that Jesus was not some last minute plan. When God created man and saw man mess up, that, all of a sudden God had to go back to the drawing room and let me see if I can figure out a way to fix. Boy, I must be really born. Let me go back to the drawing room and see if I can kind of fix what man done messed up. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll create Jesus.
Go ahead.
Witnesses tell it, and they will tell you that Jesus was created by God. Well, then that would make Jesus not God. Because anything created cannot be God. Anything created cannot be the creator. The creator had to have created everything. Or else he's not the creator. Christ is not God's B plan. All right. Because plan number A didn't work out.
Come
so
on.
now I got to go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
And do this thing over again.
On.
No, Jesus is not God's B plan.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
My God.
To think that God could be God.
Yes, sir.
And not know that man would sin would also suggest and reduce God from being God.
Jesus.
Y'all didn't get that.
I hear you. My God.
To think that God could create man.
Yes, sir.
And not have enough wisdom to know that man, matter of fact, to not have the foreknowledge. The knowledge before to know that man will sin in the days to come would make God less than God. Because even you and I as parents know our children enough to know their strengths and weaknesses. Their faults and failures, what they will do, what they won't do, and what they have the capacity to do. I sent EF, we were in Dalton in our house, and I sent EF as a little fella. Why, he was a sharp little fella. I used to love to see his little box haircut that they were wearing back in them days. Like, was that Gumby or something like that? Amen.
All right.
Little slant on it. That boy, he loved to look sharp. We were out in the backyard playing. All of us were out there. And I sent him, we had some boom pops in the freezer. white, blue, and red. I think they were bonfire. What did I say? Boom pop?
Boom pop.
Y'all know what I'm saying. Charlie to my head. I told him to go get me one. And he went gladly and got me one. Now I know my son. And I looked at him with this smile on his face, this little sharp little haircut. And I said, you bit off of one of them popsicles, didn't you? Boy, the fear of God came down on him. And I said real quickly, I said, you're not in trouble. I said, but you ate one, you bit off one of them popsicles, didn't you? E.F. said, you got me. It was the sweetest, cutest thing you ever seen in your life.
I understand.
When he knew that his daddy was not going to whoop him, he came on freely with admission of guilt. But I knew him enough to know that he couldn't go in that freezer and not get one of them popsicles for himself.
That's right. That's right.
Now, how in the world can I and his mother have that knowledge of him? And then God create man and not know that man would fail in the Garden of Eden.
That's right. Go ahead. Teach it.
And I'm not God. I'm not nowhere near God.
That's right.
I'm not omniscient. I'm not omnipotent.
Yes.
And I'm not omnipresent.
Yes.
In other words, I'm not everywhere. I don't know all things and I don't have all power. But I knew my son.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And that's just one example.
Amen.
But as the Father, God knew in advance what Adam would do. Now some of us are so mean, and some of us are so unloving, and some of us are so spiteful that had we known in advance, we would have trashed the whole project. Talk to me, somebody. If you knew that somebody was going to lie and cheat and kill and steal and rob, you probably would have said,
That's right.
let me make something else. Let me make a cake. Let me make some Kool-Aid. Let me make some pudding. Let me make some fried chicken. But I ain't making man because he going to cause all kinds of trouble. He's going to mess up. And yet, knowing what God knew, God made us anyhow.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Yes, God.
In the case of Laquan McDonald, the young man was shot 16 times.
My God.
And it took an order from a judge to release the video.
Help today. God.
And when the video came out, and all of us started watching it, you're saying, my God. First of all, the young man has a problem anyhow. You know.
In his head.
And he's also walking this way. And supposedly had some knife, but 16 bullets is no comparison to somebody 100 feet away from you. So then when we looked at the video, then the authorities were saying that we didn't know. And then some others were saying, well, we got to look at the video and we got to make sure.
But yet you got
and so then it was said that if the leaders did know, then it was a cover-up.
It was.
If they didn't know, then they're unqualified.
My God.
Because how you going to be my mayor? How you going to be my attorney general? How you going to be a leader over this city? Talk to me, somebody. and you don't know what's going on in your own department. And that kind of principle can be used all the way to the White House. Now, I'm really not talking about these particular cases. I'm really trying to make an argument for God. Because first of all, if God knew man was going to sin and didn't do anything about it, then it's a cover-up. But if God did know but didn't do anything about it, or if he didn't know that man was going to sin, then that makes God inadequate. So we got to have some other conclusion. God created man knowing that man was going to sin. In God's foreknowledge, Jesus was God's plan all the time.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
The Bible says that Jesus was the lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Yes.
Do you understand what that is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That means that Jesus was considered a sacrifice by God before God created
That's right.
the heavens and the earth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If he was the lamb slain from the foundation of the world, that means that Jesus, in God's mind, died maybe even millions of years ago. It just took time for you and I to catch up to the prophetic clock. This might not be a shouting sermon.
Go ahead.
My God.
This is a doctrinal sermon. You see, because there are isms and schisms out here that are trying to reduce Jesus. I was talking to somebody the other day who said to me, well, you know, Jesus ain't God, is he? He's not God. Jesus is a prophet. Well, of course, you know, even Mr. Farrakhan is trying to give you the impression that he believes in Jesus now, because in his messages that sometimes are 4 hours long. Talk to me, somebody. He talks about Jesus. But in the sight of Islam, Jesus is only another preacher, just like Pastor Ledbetter. And it's all right to quote Pastor Ledbetter. Amen. Because in the end, Muhammad is still the messenger or the Messiah for Islam, not Jesus. A lot of people who don't come to Bible class, don't come to Discovery, are setting themselves up to be fooled by anything that comes up. Jesus is God in human form. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And there was nothing made that was not made by him.
That's right.
Which is Jesus the Christ.
All right.
Second thing I want to talk about is the meticulous, nitpicking particularities of bringing an international leader into the world.
All right.
The meticulous, punctilious, spectacular, and particular care that goes into bringing an intergalactic, an international, interplanetary king from another world down to earth.
Yes.
Are you aware of all of the work that goes into bringing a leader
Yes.
just from another country into America?
Uh-huh.
But we got 50 states. 50 states.
Yeah.
And so which one of the states is he going to land at? The particulars, the itinerary,
Uh-huh.
the schedule,
Yes,
Well,
letters have to be sent out. Government heads and dignitaries and officials have to be notified.
yeah.
Arrangements have to be made
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
with precision,
Uh-huh.
because a king or a president
That's so something.
from another country
Yes, sir.
Yes.
is coming to America,
Uh-huh. Come on.
and he's going to Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
For instance. The media have to be notified.
Yeah.
Flights have to be arranged.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a witness?
Yes, sir.
A special runway at the airport. You
All
can't
right.
come in on Southwest.
All right. All right, John. All right, John.
Do y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I hear you.
He can't Uber from O'Hare to City Hall.
All right.
That's right.
No, he can't use Lyft. He's got an entourage.
Uh-huh.
He's got his own security.
Uh-huh.
And we have to have additional security.
Yes.
The airport has to be
My
dealt
God. Uh-huh.
with. We got to check everybody that's coming in that day and that hour.
Uh-huh.
When President Obama comes to Chicago, it locks up the whole side of town.
Uh-huh.
When he goes home, the people in his neighborhood, well, matter of fact, even when he's not at home, the people in his neighborhood, they feel like they are the safest people in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
They are.
And they don't even mind the little particular hassle that they have to go through to get to their own house.
That's right. Uh-huh. Beautiful.
They enjoy the fact
Yeah.
Yes,
that
sir.
President Obama is my neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Meetings have to be arranged.
That's right.
All right.
Welcoming parties
Yes, sir.
have to be put in place. When I go to different cities, usually the pastor has people contacting me 6 months or a year in advance. Some of my best revivals is no less than a year in advance. Amen. They need a picture. They need a bio. They need to know what times I like to fly. They need to know what kind of hotel I want to stay at. They need to know what kind of food I like to eat. They need to know if I need anything. Is my wife coming? They need to know all kinds of things. They have to inform the Baptist Ministers Conference and other constituents within that city,
Yeah.
so that this can be a really good affair.
Yeah.
The media has to be notified.
Yeah.
Publicity, flyers got to go out. Restaurants have to be reserved.
Yeah.
And the guest is bringing his entourage, so you got to have someplace, a table or a number of tables, so that everybody can be accommodated.
Uh-huh.
And do you like seafood? Do you like steak? Do you like sushi? What is your likes? What are your allergies? Talk to me, somebody. Are you vegan? Are you vegetarian?
Well,
A lot of particulars. Some of these people, highfalutin folk nowadays, I hear about these stars who go to different hotels and they want all green M&Ms in the room.
crazy.
A little crazy.
But when when a person is valuable for something that you're doing and you bringing that person to town, then you roll out the red carpet, and if that's what they want, that's what they're going to get. Because there's an exchange. They coming to do something for you, you want to do something for them to make them comfortable. If they want bottled water in the room, you're going to have bottled water. You're going to have Vox. Sparkling Vox. Itinerary has to be arranged. Other leaders have to be informed. So you get the idea. When you're bringing a leader from another world, another country, to America, if you're going to do it right, there's a lot of work that goes in to bringing a great person to hosting somebody. In the case of Christ, 4,000 years of publicity.
Well.
I'm saying some stuff.
I hear you.
The Old Testament is 4,000 years of publicity. From the Garden of Eden, when Adam first sinned. Genesis 3:15. The easy way to remember this is everybody in here remembers John 3:16. So subtract 1 and back it up to 15. The 3rd chapter of Genesis, the 15th verse, is the first announcement of the coming of Jesus Christ.
That's right. By the heel.
It's what theologians call the proto-evangel.
Come on. That's right. Come on. Teach it.
This is the prototype for evangelism. That this seed of a woman is going to crush the head of the enemy.
Yes, sir.
And the enemy is only going to cause the seed of the woman to have a bruised heel.
That's right. Just bruised.
Because Calvary was the bruising of Jesus' heel. But it was the crushing of Satan's heel.
That's right.
Now you can dress it all up with a Christmas tree and garland and all that. But Genesis 3:15 is the first prophecy of the coming of Christ. So we can preach that as the best Christmas sermon. But you wouldn't enjoy it because there's no shepherds and there's no wise men and there's no angels, breathing over the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes. But what I'm trying to show you is that in the infinite wisdom of God, Jesus been coming ever since creation.
That's right.
4,000 years of publicity. Cherubims and seraphim for security. And also for music. The angels sang glory to God. In the heights. The angels were working on the Ways and Means Committee.
That's right.
Because wasn't no kings and potentates and wasn't no presidents arranging for the coming of Jesus.
That's right.
But the angels set the agenda. Amen. Michael and Gabriel got the Ways and Means Committees together. And they arranged Jesus' flight. They arranged for not so much for him to go to a restaurant, but for him to be the bread of life. And the water of salvation.
Go ahead.
I guess I'll go on and sit down. Y'all
Come on.
But more importantly,
Yes.
a pipeline of nature
Come on now.
of 42 generations
Say that. Say that.
from Abraham down to David,
Yeah.
and from David and Solomon down to Mary. A pipeline of nature
Watch out.
had to be constructed
Ah.
because God didn't just want to show up on earth
Well.
as God. He already been as God. But God had to reduce himself down
Yeah, God. Yeah.
to the form not just of a baby, but an embryo.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right.
He had to get in not only into Mary's womb,
Come on.
but he had to get into Jesus' body.
Yes.
And so arrangements had to be made
Yeah.
down through 4,000 years
Yeah.
of planning and preparation.
Yes.
Have y'all seen these high-tech demonstrations of an airplane flying? Say like Air Force One flying and being refilled
Yeah.
midair.
Yeah.
So they have to not only get these two planes to meet up. Lord have mercy. But they have to know the logistics.
Say that. Say that.
Yes, sir.
They got to
In
know
the air.
altitude,
That's right.
longitude,
Yeah.
latitude.
Yeah.
They got to know global positioning.
Yes, they do.
Because it ain't like, okay, meet me at 79 and the damn ride. No, it ain't like that.
Go ahead, Reverend. Go ahead.
You have to know certain degrees
That's right.
north and certain degrees south and certain degrees east and certain degrees west. And then you got to still know how high up.
That's right.
Altitude.
That's right.
30,000 feet. 20,000 feet or what have you. Then you got to also synchronize the speed.
That's right.
Yes, you do.
Are you doing 500?
Now what?
Because a plane can't hardly take off until it's doing about at least 300 or 400 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for God, here's Mary, and she ain't even born yet. And God got to swoop down.
Come on now.
All right. Yeah.
Years are passing.
Yeah.
Abraham,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Woo! Yeah.
Jacob, David,
Yeah.
Solomon,
Woo! Yes, sir.
Jeroboam, Rehoboam, and all them were going. Matthew, not Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers,
Yes.
Deuteronomy, Joshua, Nehemiah, Zechariah.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Go ahead.
Haggai, Habakkuk, Malachi.
Yeah, all of them.
400 years of silence.
Yes. Silence. Woo, Jesus.
Do you know it was 400 years between Matthew and Malachi?
Yes, it was.
400 years that God didn't have nothing to say.
Hey,
to us.
nobody. All right.
Then
All of a sudden. Woo!
God meets up with Mary.
My God.
Here's a young woman with a child that ain't been with no man.
No man.
Yes.
Yeah, God.
My God.
If God knows all in advance. Then creation of man was carried out.
Yep.
Why did God go ahead and make us? This is my best sermon I ever preached. If God made us knowing we were going to mess up, then did he know? Because if he knew, it looked like a cover-up. You made us know we were going to mess up? So it's cool to mess up? No, it ain't cool to mess up. Amen. So why did you make us anyhow? You didn't know we were going to mess up? No, if I didn't know you were going to mess up, then that makes me less than God.
Watch out, watch out.
So I didn't make you not knowing, and I didn't make you because I was friends with you in your sin. You know why I still made you? Because this gave me an opportunity in my infinite wisdom to show you my infinite love.
That's right.
And the door is open.
Amen.
If I hadn't made you anyhow, you would have no way of knowing I love you.
Yeah.
You would think I love you only
Because you did good.
if you do like I tell you.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to know I love you no matter what you do, and no matter how you act, no matter how you carry on. I love you stinking. I love you ugly. I love you messed up. I love you crooked. I love you lying. I love you cheating. Because the love that I have for you, I'm going to come. I'm not just going to send somebody to fix you. Are y'all getting this? I ain't going to just send somebody to fix you. I'm going to come myself. Amen. I'm going to come myself. And I'm going to fix you. I'm going to fix you myself. Amen.
That's right. That's what he said.
Have you ever said if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself?
Yeah.
God said if you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
Amen. Amen.
The infinite wisdom of God. Somebody give God a hand to praise.